Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chad with Advising Men. In this video, the top 5 reasons that she is pulling away. You'll notice in a relationship sometimes, or even when you're just first dating, all of a sudden she ghosts you. She isn't as interested. She doesn't return your text as fast. All that stuff happens to all of us. Anytime I've ever been dating, everybody, doesn't matter who it is, that stuff happens, okay? But I want to go over what I think are the top 5 reasons that a woman pulls away from you when you're dating. Now, this applies to first parts of the relationship, when you just first start dating, all the way up to a long-term relationship. Extremely, extremely important that you listen and get these down. Okay, so let's start. The first one, you initiate contact more than she does. Now, this is especially when you first start dating a girl. This is a huge deal. But even in a long-term relationship, this matters a ton. If you're contacting her all the time, say you're going on the first date, okay, or you've been on the first date, now you're going the second, third, fourth, and you're really thinking this girl's great, and oh, this is the one, and blah, 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 and I'm in love, after the first date, all that stuff. Guys tend to, for some reason, we tend to go way overboard way too quick. So you go, oh, well, she seemed to like me, so I'm going to text her the next day, or text her that night, or whatever. Oh, I really enjoyed the date. Okay. Then the next day, you're texting her, or you're calling her, trying to contact her. And then she doesn't call you back or contact you. Then you start getting worried, like, oh, what did I do? Maybe something happened to her. Maybe she was in a car wreck. I should call and try to check on her. And then you call again, and you call again, and you text again, and she's not responding, and you keep going. And then all of a sudden, you realize she's gone. And it's because you contacted her too much. You have to get this down, and it doesn't matter. In all facets of relationship, all the way up to being married, she has to feel like you could take her or leave her. Now, I'm not saying treat her like, be a jerk to her or whatever, but she has to feel like you are out in the world, you're on your mission, you're going for the success that you want in your life, and she is helping you do that. She's helping you get there. She's being a complement to your life, not the focus of it. That's the problem. When you make a girl the focus of your life, that girl will leave. I'm telling you 100% of the time, that's exactly what's going to happen. If you make a girl the focus of your life, she will not be in your life. She will leave. It will turn her off. She'll get bored. If she feels like she's got you, even in an LTR, if she feels like she's got you, then what does she need to try for? Women need excitement. They need to have feelings. They need to have their feelings brought up in them. And this is a very, very good way to do that. So, number 1, you initiate contact more than she does. The 80-20 rule here applies. That's the best way to do it. You contact her 20% of the time, she contacts you 80% of the time. If you can keep that ratio going in your relationship, you're good to go. I'm in an LTR and have been for a few years. That's how I do it. All the time. Sometimes I feel like I've contacted her too much in a day. I back off. I let her come to me. And that is so important, especially when you get into the 7, 8, 9s. It's extremely important that they are not the focus of your life. Okay, moving on to number 2. You do not lead the interactions when you're with her. This is so, so critical, guys. You have to be the leader, okay? You may have been, and for a lot of guys, this isn't your fault. If you were raised by a single mom, you're used to the woman leading you. So it's not your fault, but it's something that you need to realize. You really, really need to get in your head, and you need to drill down on that is if you were raised by a single mother, you're used to a woman leading you when women want to be led. See, guys, nothing trumps human nature. And this is something that is really going to be, I'm really going to focus on this channel. Nothing trumps human nature, okay? It is human nature for a woman to want to be led. It is human nature for a woman wanting to be protected, okay? You see women with guys that are jacked and, Navy SEALs or whatever. They're there because they feel safe. They feel protected. They feel led. Okay? So when you're leading the relationship and you're leading the interactions, the woman naturally wants to follow. That is her natural position, is to follow. Okay? She could have her own job, her own life, anything. And that's fine. But when she's with you, she wants to follow. The easier you could make it on a woman, like if you're taking her out on a date and you call her up and you say, hey, Friday night, 7 o'clock, wear that black dress I like. Well, where are we going? What are we going to do? I'll handle it. Just be ready. That right there is leading an interaction with a woman, setting up a date, and giving her something to think about and look forward to the entire week. That's what women want, guys. Feelings. It's all about how they feel. You have to make them feel certain ways. This is another problem. You don't lead the interaction, okay? All right, let me get this up here. Now, a couple more things on leading the interaction. A very good way to make a woman feel like she's following you and feel led is physically lead her. I've done this so many times, and it literally works 100% of the time. I lead a woman in and out of a building. I open the door. I'm usually holding her hand, and if I'm holding her hand, we're walking up to a door. I will hold her hand. I will reach out and get the door. I will let go of her hand, and I'll put my hand on her lower back. And don't shove her through the door, but my hand will follow her through the door as I follow her in. And if she tries to reach out to grab the second door, if it's a breezeway and there's an interior door you have to go through, usually I'll put my hand on her shoulder or on her hip, pull her back a little, grab the door, and then lead her through that door too. Then when I get inside, I grab her hand and we move forward from there. It's very relaxing to a woman to know that she's led. And the more that you lead, the more that the woman will relax when she's in your presence. Another way that I do it is when we're crossing a street, I always grab the girl's hand and I walk across the street with her just a little bit behind me. Not side by side, just a little bit behind me. Not like I'm pulling her along, but I'm guiding her across the street. These are little physical things that you can do that give a woman a sense of being led. And that relaxes them and it makes them feel safe. And when a woman is relaxed and feels safe, she wants to be with you. Extremely important. Okay, next. Number 3, you display weak behavior. Huge, guys, huge. You display weak behavior. I'm going to go down the list. You talk about your problems to her. Never do that. Never do. Talk to your buddies about your problems. That's what your buddies are for. You do not talk to your problem or talk to your woman about your problems. Okay? The more that she hears about your problems, the more her attraction is going to go down. Because she doesn't want to deal with that. When you talk about your problems, how does it make her feel? Insecure. The reason it makes her feel insecure is because you're displaying insecurity. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do about this or that. Oh, my business this. Oh, my buddy that. Blah, blah, blah. When you're talking like that, you're talking in an insecure way, which then makes her feel insecure. Women feed off of you. They feed off of you. That is human nature. They feed off of you. And if you are insecure, they're going to feel insecure. If you are leading and secure, then they're going to feel safe. What you do affects the state that the girl you're with is in. It's extremely important that you get that. You talk about your problems too much. Next, you don't have a positive outlook on life. This is another big issue. You find this a lot with guys that don't ever get involved in any kind of personal growth at all. Okay? You're always like, everybody's against me, or the world's against me, or blah, whatever it is. You aren't positive about stuff. My attitude is something goes wrong, I'm going to find a solution, I'm going to correct, and I'm going to move forward. That's it. I don't talk about, what happened last week. I don't care what happened last week. I want to know what's happening right now and where it's going to lead me, where it's going to take me. And that's what a woman needs too. So, always have a positive outlook on stuff. Anything, have a positive outlook. You talk about past relationships like they were bad instead of being thankful for the learning experience. Whenever a girl asks you about an ex-wife, an ex-girlfriend, they start talking about, how have your other relationships gone? Very important that you say, hey, I'm thankful for the time that I had with these people because it taught me a lot. I experienced those things. I was able to grow from those things to become the guy I am right now. So I'm happy that I went through those experiences. Even, some of it may have been negative, but, really turned those into a positive because I found a way to grow out of it. Now, that compared to, she took me for everything I have and I never get to see my kids and I hate that bee and blah, blah, blah. You think she's going to be feeling great about you saying that? Because you may be saying that about her. Or she might have an ex that says that about her. And that's more than likely. She has an ex that says that about her. And if she's hearing the same stuff out of your mouth, you're out. That's all there is to it. It will not work out. Okay? Now, in this, displaying weak behavior, this is the biggest mistake. The biggest mistake you can make. You totally revolve your life around her, and you drop friends and hobbies to be with her. This is a huge deal. This actually displays weakness. This is a weakness that when women see that, you are not looked at as a leader and as a strong person and a strong man. When you dump your friends to be with her, when I like going to the gym. I like playing drums. I like doing jiu-jitsu. I like going hunting and fishing. Well, if I stop doing all that solely because, I can't do that anymore because that's the time we spend together, honey. That's weakness, man. That is pure weakness. If you do that, she's not going to feel the same about you. You're not going to have that level of attraction that you want from her, okay? Moving on, number 4 on the top 5 reasons you fail the crap tests. Okay? We all know what I'm talking about. A woman will test you. Okay? When you show a sign of weakness in any area, she will test you. In one way or another, she'll find some way to test you. Okay? Now, you can count on that a woman will test you. Okay? If they see a weakness, they're going to attack that. And usually it's for 2 reasons. First reason is that she's bored and she wants some drama. Because women good Lord, look at the shows they watch. Are you kidding me? I can't stand some of these shows that women watch. But they like drama. It just gives them some kind of a feeling. And they like that feeling. And I don't know if it's a feeling of, their life's worse than mine or whatever, but they like drama. So one reason a woman will test you is she's bored. You haven't been leading. You haven't been taking her out. You haven't been doing what you need to be doing. So she's bored. So she's throwing out little tests. Another reason that a woman will test you is because she actually likes you. She likes what she sees. So she is sitting there going, I wonder about this. And I wonder about that. Let me throw a little test here, a little test there to see what he says. See how he reacts. See what he does. Okay? Very important. If you pass the tests, she's yours. If you fail the tests, she's gone. That's just the bottom line in that deal. Okay? Now, drum roll please. Number 5, the top 5 reasons that she pulls away. This is number 5. Here we go. You give her gifts and you tell her that you love her all the time. Think about that. There had to have been a relationship in your past where you were head over heels and you wanted to tell her you loved her 20 times a day, and you were bringing her flowers and chocolates and whatever gifts that you could think of. You were like making her stuff out of freaking Kleenex or something, making her little Kleenex flowers, whatever it is. You went overboard with affection. Okay? Now, this is a serious issue. Here's why. We're going back to reason 1. She wants to feel like she has to earn your love in one way or another. Now, I'm not saying be a jerk or anything like that, but when you're on your mission in life, you don't have time to stop and I love you, and buy gifts and all this stuff. She wants to, back once again, nothing trumps human nature, okay? She wants to follow you and be a help to you. Even if she has her own job, her own career, and everything else, she still, according to human nature, wants to follow and wants to help. Now, if you are constantly coming to her and saying, oh, I love you, blah, 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 announcing it on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else you can announce it, that this is the one, after knowing her for a month, she is going to pull back from that because she's not able to follow you. When she tries to follow, when you start leading, she tries to follow, and you stop and turn and go, I love you, and gift. She is going to step back from that. And you literally, I've seen it where girls didn't really roll their eyes, but they had the look on their face like they were rolling their eyes when the guy was like, I love you so much. When I'm out like with friends and stuff, and the guy's just holding her hand and always on her and all this stuff. When I'm out with a group and a girl's with me, I'm talking to everybody, I'm standing up, I'm walking around. She has to come to me, or I'll go back every once in a while and talk to her. But she has to come to me and with me. Once again, that's leading the interaction, okay? So, it's a super, super big deal. Too many gifts and you tell her that you love her too many times, okay? At this point, she knows she controls a relationship and that it's totally boring to her. Get that in your head. When a woman controls a relationship, she's bored. When you control the relationship, she has some excitement. She's like, oh, what's next? What's he going to do now? Okay, very, very important. These things should be things that happen out of the blue. Okay, when you give her gifts or you tell her you love her, it should be something that happens out of the blue or from like a special occasion or something like that. When she doesn't expect it, that is the perfect time. Okay, when she doesn't expect it, that's the perfect time. Now, obviously, it doesn't count if it's in the middle of bedroom fun or whatever. I'm talking about outside of the bedroom, okay? You surprise her with it, or you do it at a time where she's going to have a positive feeling about it. It's so important, okay? Now, if you don't believe me, especially on this one, if you don't believe me, do me a favor. Tell your girlfriend you love her 10 times a day. And buy her a gift twice a week. And don't stop. And you will see her attraction level drop. And you might get dumped. I'm telling you. If you want to test this at your own risk, Tell her 10 times a day that you love her and see what happens. If she really likes you, she's probably going to say, okay, I get it, babe. Could you hold off on that and not like tell me that so much? She might help you out. But more than likely, you're going to get a bunch of crap tests when she gets fed up with it. And then if you fail those, there's going to be problems. Trust me, guys. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's the top 5 reasons why she pulls away. I hope this helps you guys out. We're putting the website together, advisingmen.com, advisingmen.com, okay? You can sign up for coaching there. I'm going to have merchandise coming out here real soon. I'm working with a designer right now to get a bunch of merchandise out. And I will have my first course out probably in the next month. Okay, and this course will be Why You Got Dumped. And I think that in the beginning of the journey for guys, it's important for them to learn and to know why they got dumped so that they can correct all that stuff. Because in correcting all the reasons that you got dumped, in correcting that, you will springboard into better relationships and better interactions with women just with having that knowledge. Okay, so that course will include videos, will include will include forms to fill out so that I know exactly where you're at, where you're starting from. Okay, and will include coaching calls. So it's going to be a great price for that. It'll include coaching calls, and we'll get you straightened out on that. And literally, that's going to springboard you. Once you figure that out, it's going to springboard you into better relationships. Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. We're getting some more subscribers and a couple people. We had one video that has over 8,000 views now. A breakdown that I did on the fight between the OU football player and a couple of mixed martial arts guys. So that was cool. Really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Thanks again, guys.